Is it just me, or am I starting to become a bandwagon?
Morgan, are you freaking serious? Ignoring the crappy commentaries, man, and this commentary, you've only been commentated on twice. If there were like 4 or 5 good commentaries, man, then I would understand your statement. But there was only 2 good commentaries, man, And even if this was a joke, I still wouldn't let it slide, seeing how the joke in question doesn't have that much ground to stand on because of what I just stated. Oh, great! Just what I freaking needed! Morgan, speed up the intro to the point where I can barely understand what her opponent has to say. Not only is this annoying to the viewers because they can't understand what the heck the opponent is saying, but it could also lead to people thinking that you're trying to hide something, whether or not you intend to do so. And while you didn't do something like that, you did do something that's pretty amateur-like at best. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Oh,
well,
and also
really
to strengthen my point,
anymore.
I left a clip of Kendall's video to
What
play.
he did was wrong. I don't know if you call it just being a brother, if it's just pure mean. He knows how much I love Emma. I love her with all my heart. I don't care if she's a doll. I love her so much. Like my little real baby. I don't care. She may be spoiled, but I love her to pieces. My tears just got in her hair. But you know what he did? I was trying to feed my kitty cat, Gracie. And he decided that he was going to lean over and fart. Excuse me. Fart. I didn't actually fart. I'm just saying excuse me because I don't like to use that word. Fart in her face and scream, beef stew!
Just because your brother did something like this to your cat doesn't mean that you have the right to defend her.
Well, Morgan, if you pay attention to the video, which you obviously didn't, you would know that Kendall's brother Cameron did absolutely nothing to Kendall's cat. All he did was just fart in Kendall's doll's face. The reason the cat came into play was because Kendall was feeding it. See, Morgan, this is the biggest problem I have with you speeding up the video. Not only did I have a difficulty understanding it, not only did I have to watch the original video to understand what Kendall had to say, but you misinterpreted what Kendall had to say, which is one of the biggest no-nos in making a commentary.
And besides, if you think it's not funny, then what's the big deal over it?
Roll the clip.
He knows how much I love her, and that just really hurt.
There, the video answered your question. Happy?
How would you like it if I did that to him?
You know, that's not going to help you solve this problem. It's just going to make this worse for yourself.
So basically her brother wouldn't like it. So basically you just add on to rather than debunk what your opponent had to say. So basically you just fail at one of the fundamentals of being a commentator.
My mom's like, Kendall, you're overreacting. I'm like, no, I'm not. And he's like, calm down, Kendall, you're overreacting. I'm like, Mom, I'm not gonna calm down. No. I'm sorry if I'm disrespectful, but I'm not gonna calm down. I'm gonna stand for what's right, and what he did was wrong.
That definitely shows that you did not listen to your mother on this.
No. Really? I thought she did listen to her mother.
And it's really aggravating because it's like, really? Like, seriously? You're really gonna do that? Sorry, guys. I know you can see the tear going down my cheek. Is that just me? You see it?
Oh no, not the shaky camera! Quick, someone get her to place it in the right spots for this!
Wow. Wow. That joke was so forced that I cannot laugh anymore. I don't feel happy anymore. I don't think I'll ever feel— Aww, look at the kitty witty! Okay, I'm happy now. Let's continue.
Cameron, bleep, bleep, why would you freaking do that? And I started running and I just started banging on his door. And, yeah. And I grabbed a screwdriver and, like, cause we had the doors to where,
Looks like someone's the new Rian Kuwata here. Sorry, L Entertainment, but someone took your place for the execution.
Wow. I thought the first joke you made was bad, but this one is surprisingly worse, seeing how the only way you can understand the joke is if you knew the source material because of how vague the reference is, which wouldn't be a problem if the joke was funny. But then I remember what your first joke did to me.
On the outside where you can take a penny and open it. So I grabbed a screwdriver and just started stabbing at it.
Don't you think that's sibling abuse when you did that? You know you could get in trouble for doing that. Don't believe me? I suggest you know more about it from this article in the description.
How is violently opening a door qualify as sibling abuse? I mean, it looks like more abuse is being done to the door rather than a sibling in question. And before you tell me that this led to sibling abuse, I'll only tell you this. Kendall's brother is freaking 15. I'm pretty sure he can handle her.
Yeah, so I'm really protective of her. And what he did was really mean. And I would never do that to him. And he knows it. And he knows it since I'm such a tender heart, and since I'm so vulnerable that he'd do that to me, and this is just really mean. Anyway, my rant is over. I'm just really angry and sad right now because, I mean, seriously. Like, seriously. You had to do that. You really had to freaking do that. Like, there wasn't anything else that you could do. You could have just sat there like you were supposed to.
Well then, please refer to what I said before about ignoring your brother. I don't want to go over this again.
So let me get this straight. You wasted 34 seconds of my time just to say you're not going to repeat yourself. You wasted 34 seconds of my time with needless information that I already knew about just to say you're not going to repeat yourself. Instead of cutting the part out of the video entirely and, well, you know, not repeat yourself, you just say you're not going to repeat yourself. Yeah, that's fine. That's perfectly fine, sweetie. It's perfectly fine. I am not angry. I'm perfectly fine. Just screw this bullcrap right quick.
Comment down below if you think that it was right for him to do that. And if you comment that it was right, then I don't know if you know what's wrong. But
So far, only one person commented on this video, and he did not answer that question right there. Yeah, I can see that people are not going to give a shit about this question of yours.
This is coming from the girl who said that Kendall was in the wrong for the way she acted. I'm pretty sure you're the last person to say that no one is going to care about this question. But you know what? Let's just end it on a positive note. Morgan, if you're watching this video right now, please know that I have nothing against you. In fact, I think you're a pretty good commentator. You just made a dud.
I will link this video to it, so when people start to post angry comments, which some of you did, okay? I'm not gonna lie, some of you actually did post angry comments. I will keep this anonymous for now, so I don't feel the need to call you out on it. We're fine on this, right? Okay?
Well, I've read the comments on that video, and none of them were trying to be mean to you. At worst, they were just trying to be funny. And you kind of overreacted to those jokes. Now, to be fair, you don't have to find what they said to be funny. However, that doesn't automatically mean they were being jerks.
But, okay, right? And I understand there's a few of you who want to make commentaries out of that. And if you want to do that, go ahead. I don't mind. I'm probably never going to watch them. But, anyway, that's just because of my views on commentaries. I don't enjoy commentaries. Okay?
But what if the people who made commentaries on you pointed out flaws you didn't know existed? What if after watching their commentaries, you changed your viewpoint of the genre as a whole? What I'm trying to say is that you shouldn't let a little thing like a few bad apples in the community, who I may add you don't really bring up, be one of the main reasons as to why you're not going to watch commentaries made on you.
And I think a lot of you really missed the point on why I don't like commentaries, okay? Because some of you say I give absolutely no points. Well, watch the video through again, okay?
Because, you know, it's not like you did a crappy job elaborating as to why you didn't like commentaries. Nah, it's the fault of the commentators for quote-unquote missing the point.
And if you don't feel like doing that, I'll express the point I made here, okay? Let's get on with that. So, one of the points I make, which makes me not like commentaries, is how they interrupt the video experience, alright? I prefer reaction videos, like I said, which are another method of conveying your opinion to someone. I prefer reaction videos because they keep flowing with the video, okay? Are we clear on that? I hope to God we are. I really do.
So let me get this straight. One of the main reasons you hate commentaries is because when we interject, we stop the video, which according to you, ruins the flow of it. Okay, there is just so much wrong with this. Number one, is stopping the video just to interject at someone's points ruins the flow of the video that badly? Number two, one can argue that reaction videos ruin the flow of the video they're responding to more than commentaries, because when people interject in reaction videos, they would often need to drown down what the person/people they're reacting to are saying. Hey, it's your logic, not mine. And number three, you're one to talk, mister, I repeat myself and pause a lot.
Hey guys, Today, we're going to do a rant, okay? This is a rant about Cartoon Network. Now, before y'all judge me and say, oh, Braden, there's been a million people who've ranted about this channel. It's stupid. Well, look. I'm going to go off on things that I have to get off my chest here.
Actually, not that many people would mind if you did a rant on Cartoon Network, as long as you made it interesting or brought something new to the table. But here's the problem. You didn't. In fact, a majority of this rant is just you repeating points that previous ranters have already made.
Cartoon Network have lost it, okay? They've gone from 1992 to 2015, and since 1992, when they first started, those were their golden years. From then to 2005, it was great. They had the city era, the checkerboard era, all these eras, and they were all very brilliant and very well thought out. They had characters talking to each other. I mean, come on, who does that? Nickelodeon didn't freaking do that. You didn't see them put their effort on that. You see, this is what made the channel such a great channel.
Yeah, this is another problem I have with your video. You don't really go into that much detail as to how things are either good or bad. You see, as a ranter, it's your job to give more than one reason as to why something is good or bad. Because, big shocker, not everybody is like you.
And when they take all the city eras, all the old classic cartoons that put them on the map for television, that's when the channel went downhill. In 2007, all of this went downhill. It went from the Himalayas all the way down to the ground. It went so freaking
Yes,
high.
we get it. It went
channel.
Downhill. Now, can you please say something of substance?
Completely. They started airing live action shows like Dude, What Would Happen? Basically, a teenage version of Mythbusters. Trying to think of that other show.
Yeah, this is one of the main reasons as to why I strongly recommend doing videos in more than one take. Because if you can lose your trail of thought this easily, then maybe you should do multiple takes until you finally get it right.
Destroy, build, destroy. Now, my question to you. What is the name? Okay, let's see, let me think. It's Cartoon Network, for God's sake. The channel, it says it all. It says it all.
I'm sorry, but is there really a point to bring up Do What Will Happen and Destroy, Build, Destroy in a Cartoon Network rant? In 2015? I mean, not only have these shows been talked about to death, but they aren't even relevant anymore. And when you're trying to tell people that the channel has gone downhill, then maybe you should focus on bringing more recent examples instead of complaining about stuff that people have already complained about.
And to all those people out there like Monster Reviews and Pan Guy Guys or that one guy, I can't remember his name, or Monsters Review, yeah, to him and all the other YouTubers out there who do rants, I feel your pain.
I feel your pain. I seen what they've done to our childhood. It was horrible! But in all seriousness, what you just said back there was completely pointless, seeing how that wasn't relevant to the topic at hand.
Back to what I was saying. People, they've lost it. Okay? First, they rebooted Teen Titans, okay? And we thought, oh, Teen Titans Go might actually be a decent show. And then it finally aired its first episode. Episode 1, Season 1. It was crap from the beginning. There was no action. There is no freaking plot. It's all just toilet humor.
Wait a minute, so screaming and facial expressions are toilet humor? You learn something new every day.
That show, yes, that was worse than Teen Titans Go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this shows how much effort he put into this rant.
But anyway, my thing here, people, is they've lost it.
Wait a minute, you're not even going to finish the comparison between The Adventures of Flapjack and Teen Titans Go? Well, okay then. Your loss, I guess.
I'm sorry, but they gotta get the crap under control, because one day their channel is gonna completely fall off the map, and before long, Disney Channel and Nick are gonna become the big kid networks.
It's also great that you provide absolutely no evidence to support this claim.
I know there's a new generation, there's new children watching the channel, but I feel bad for these children. They have to watch this horrible animation, stupid CGI, toilet humor cartoons.
Yeah, let's completely ignore the fact that those kids probably might like those cartoons and only focus on the fact they're not watching cartoons that I like.
And then in 2007, the dawn of the horrible Cartoon Network. The dawn of it. And since 2007, we've had nothing but retarded shows. I'm going to name a couple shows I do like. Regular Show, Adventure Time, and Steven Universe.
Says Cartoon Network has never had a good show since 2007. Yet literally the next thing he talks about are shows that came out after 2007 that he does like. Wait a minute, why the heck am I acting surprised all of a sudden? I mean, after watching this? I'm pretty sure it's safe to assume that you don't really care about the quality of your video.
I hate Uncle Grandpa. Number one, how is it possible for a grandpa to be an uncle? That is retarded. I know it's a cartoon, but put some logic behind it a little bit. Please. That is going to make kids retarded. They're going to actually think it's possible for a grandpa to be an uncle. Do we really want to teach our kids that? No. Let them imaginate, but don't let them think that. You got to tell them someday.
Implying that the show's title is meant to be taken seriously, and not all meant to be silly. But in all seriousness, why on earth did you... Oh, right.
Hey guys, welcome back to our Brony special, and this one's a doozy. You see, there's this guy on the internet called Hallelujah Brony. Now obviously that's setting off red flags, but don't worry, we're getting there. He made a video called Dealing with Online Trolls. Now obviously, well, the person who's so mature about putting online trolls in their place in the consequence, that should mean that they're really smart, right?
It sounded like that line was just a joke.
Hello, I'm Hallelujah Brony. Don't recognize me? I
Who
finally
talks
ditched that
Sir, next time can you speak a little more clearly? I could barely understand what you had to say back there. I know that I have a difficulty with public speaking, but at least I try to do retakes in order to help people understand what the heck I'm trying to say.
ridiculous pony OC generator. And good riddance. Do you know the best response to those clever yet immature nuisances? Today, I'll be talking about how to handle online trolls that plague the internet and online gaming.
And of course, it's going to be completely one-sided as he never actually thinks about the troll's real-life interaction.
Did you ever get the feeling that the reason he doesn't know the troll's real-life interactions is because he doesn't know the trolls in real life?
So in my last video in my Wise, Foolish, and Hateful series, I analyzed the episode Putting Your Hoof Down, and do you wonder what it means to be assertive? And are you learning practical ways to practice it in daily life? However, do you know what will happen if you attempt to assert yourself with some pony trying to get an emotional rise out of you?
It's gorgeous! Absolutely gorgeous! There are no words! I don't see what the big deal is. Just looks like another old castle to me.
Oh, sweet God, how late to the internet are you?
That's the guy who used the gay joke.
Yeah, we all know that Rainbow Dash was being playful, and even Rarity understood this and was able to laugh with her friend. It's unfortunately undeniable that there are immature people out there who thrive on cleverly getting someone to display an emotional breakdown.
Having a dark or cruel sense of humor does not make them immature. Look at Mark Music. He's a nice guy.
You're right. Having a darker, cruel sense of humor doesn't all make you immature. Trying to make someone cry just for the sake of achieving said humor does make you immature, which is the point he was trying to get across.
And that's the group I want to focus on today. The truth is that anyone who rebukes a mocker will get insulted in return, and anyone who corrects the wicked will get hurt. So don't bother correcting mockers. They will only hate you.
Okay, no, and also no. You cannot use the Bible for a problem like this. First of all, the Bible contains many terrible morals, like don't shave, kill the non-believers, and stone your wife with no mercy if she dares try to defend you. So why should we believe that? Well, we also have to believe all those horrible things.
Okay, Leafy, I want to ask you a question. Did he ever say that we should listen to all those horrible quotes? If your answer is no, then please sit back down.
Also, why did you even need to pull the Bible out of your butt to begin with?
Because the quote in question supports his argument that the best way to beat trolls is to ignore them.
It's funny how a book written 3,000 years ago actually perfectly illustrates what happens when you feed the parasprites in modern day times. It's almost like he knew what he was talking about. I know you want me to tell you the perfect comeback for trolls, but how about we talk about...
Refer to points mentioned before. If you believe that verse, you also have to believe the monstrosities the Bible tells you to do. So let me get this straight. By your logic, if I agree with one single thing a person has to say, that automatically means I agree with everything overall.
Reducing the chances of attracting trolls in the first place.
Implying that that's even possible.
Let him finish.
Well, do you participate in sites or forums where anonymous individuals discuss opinionated topics? So, do you publicly post anything overly personal, opinionated, or emotional? If you do, it doesn't mean that you deserve any immature responses that come your way.
Well, that depends on the person or the actions being talked about.
No, even if the person did or caused something stupid, they still do not deserve to be made fun of, because in the end, they're still people.
Not at all. It just makes you more vulnerable to getting their attention and falling into their traps.
People can still avoid being trolled if they talk about emotional or personal stuff. This is done by acting calmly about the situation, something that you refuse to talk about.
Well, ignoring the fact that all you did was just add on to rather than debunk what your opponent had to say, how on earth is Hallelujah Brony not being calm in the situation? I mean, from what I've seen throughout this entire video, he's been nothing but calm. And for my point, I'll leave a link to his video in the description.
And if you get easily defensive or are quick to anger, would it be best for you to just avoid participating in such sites altogether? Well, as always, the choice is always yours to make.
How do you know they cannot handle it? How do you know that people who get easily defensive and easily enraged cannot handle people who are trying to get them enraged? I'm sorry, do you own a freaking dictionary?
And there's a scene where some pony trolling gets completely put in their place, looking like the fools that they really are.
Okay, yeah, no, I see your ignorance.
Let him finish. Again.
Just watch.
Skipping because of time constraints. Also, you shouldn't mute my little point talk about a serious issue like this.
Wow, I would never thought I'd have a lot to say about an Ioduck. First off, you really need to learn how to speak a little more clearly, because I could barely understand what you had to say back there. Again. And second, you're cutting off his evidence. You know, the thing that is supporting his argument. And finally, to add insult to injury, doing something like this could lead to people assuming that you're trying to hide something in order to make your argument look stronger than it actually is. Not helping is the fact that you didn't even leave his video in the description. You see why this is a bad thing?
The Royal Guards in Equestria, just like in real life, are highly disciplined individuals who have learned the art of being assertive by remaining unresponsive. And they didn't even flinch in the face of the annoying mockers or the jokers.
Okay, yeah, but blocking or ignoring them won't always 100% work. Sure, it is a very well done strategy, but sometimes you need other ways to stop the trolls.
Question: how does that debunk his point? Just because there's another solution, that doesn't mean his solution is bad.
And it is normal to feel hurt or angry by their words, because words do matter. But why value the words of someone who doesn't value who you are as a person?
Oh man, you are so stupid. Listen. That sort of talk, call me jaded all you want, but that sort of idea that, words mean a whole lot is just gonna raise a bunch of insane emo people cutting themselves with My Chemical Romance CDs.
Okay, am I the only person who thought that line was a little bit too uncalled for? I mean, there are people who do get hurt real easily because of words, and personally, I don't think they should be bashed for feeling that way.
Person, and it won't be overcome overnight. If you have a witty comeback to put them in their place, great. Good for you. But sometimes the best thing that you can say to a taunting fool is, well, nothing, because online trolls just cast out bait and wait for a response. And silence is boring to them, and they will move on.
No.
So don't allow them to sweep you away like a fish out of the water. And when they give up and move on, you win. So don't allow the hate-filled and those fools to bring you down.
Oh God, stop making me cringe so much. Get.
Hey, do you want to know what makes me cringe? You saying nothing of substance.
Do you think that those who resort to name-calling, talent-bashing, and trolling, do you think they're happy, healthy, and secure people?
Oh God, you're just showing your ignorance. There are many, many trolls that have happy and productive lives. Mark Music, Minnesota Burns, see for the win. You're just showing your ignorance. Not every troll is just some basement dweller. This sort of mentality just proves that you've only been on the internet for like a year or so.
Considering the fact this is not only coming from the guy who's called him stupid, but also the same person who made an uncalled for emo joke, you are honestly the last person to say something like that.
Of course not. However, if they cross the line and share something that's blatantly harassment, derogatory, or just abusive, then by all means, report.
Oh my God, that's not always going to work, you idiot.
How? How is it not going to always work? You don't bring up any legitimate reasons as to why it's not going to always work.
But so many people often say, oh, just turn the other cheek. But they have no clue what that really means. You should ignore immaturity, but never ignore harassment.
Uh-oh, somebody posted all caps on Tumblr, we better watch out. You do realize how stupid you sound, right?
And what do those caps say? You know, I'm getting this strange vibe that harassment doesn't mean what you think it means.
And that's what I'll elaborate upon in my next installment in my Wise, Foolish, and Hateful series, explaining what it truly means to turn your other cheek. And the answer may surprise you. And thanks again for watching. The goal of my channel is to discuss insightful topics just like this. And I'm grateful that you took the time to watch this so that you could share this video with others.
Yeah, most people just say like, favorite, and share. You don't need to drag it out.
Who need this message. So I say silently ignoring pair sprites online is actually the best approach. They aren't worth your time, thought, or your sanity. Do you agree or disagree with this approach?
AKA, are you mentally deficient or less mentally deficient? You know, Leafy, instead of making these uncalled for insults, you could at least put effort in your commentaries. Just saying.
3D did not kill Sonic. Leaving Sega hardware did.
Leaving Sega hardware killed Sonic. Sorry, but isn't that Sonic World from Sonic Jam a game released on the Sega Saturn, a failed Sega hardware? And what would be released next? The Dreamcast. More failed Sega hardware. So if anything, leaving Sega hardware helped Sonic.
You know, I think you misunderstood what Game Dude said back there, so allow me to walk you through it. What Game Dude meant by that statement was, ever since Sonic left Sega hardware, he's been featured in tons of bad games, such as Sonic and the Secret Rings, Shadow the Hedgehog, and the infamous Sonic 06. Sure, Game Dude could have gone into more detail. However, you can do this thing called analyzing what your opponent has to say in order to understand what they're saying, which I may add will save your life in this community.
Sonic losers!
Really? I could have sworn it was Sonic Heroes.
You see, the reason why this joke is funny is because Game Dude said Sonic losers instead of Sonic Heroes, and then Isaac corrected him. However, since Isaac has little to no exaggeration in his voice, the joke is just so cringe-worthy to listen to.
Why? Because Sega hates you. Where do I begin? You have to constantly switch between 3 characters, which annoyingly overcomplicates the game.
Switching between characters overcomplicates the game? It's only 2 buttons, triangle or circle. How hard is it to remember?
But that wasn't the point Game Dude was trying to make. The point Game Dude was trying to make was that constantly switching between characters was annoying. Sure, he should have elaborated on as to how it was annoying, but it doesn't automatically make your point valid to the argument.
They never shut up, constantly repeat themselves.
Alright. 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 Alright.
It's a Sonic game, what do you expect?
But let me get this straight. Just because it's a Sonic game, that automatically means Game Dude is not allowed to complain about the characters repeating themselves. Which I may add is a valid complaint. That's stupid!
Collecting all the rings is nearly impossible, mainly due to horrendous control. It's fucknormously too precise.
You know, if you wanted to show us that the controls were too precise, maybe you should have done a comparison. Having the controller next to the gameplay and not just the controller, it makes you look ridiculous.
I'm honestly confused as to how this makes Game Dude look ridiculous, seeing how gameplay reviewers such as Some Call Me Johnny also show the controller and gameplay footage separate. What I'm trying to tell you is that your point feels more like a nitpick rather than a legitimate complaint.
Fuck! Does he say shit rock? Shit rock.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Okay, will you care to elaborate on how it was terrible? No? You're just gonna leave it like that? Okay, your loss. But don't come crying to me when people question your credibility as a commentator.
Jumping rails can be a nightmare. Just die already! Yeah, that's fair. Put a hidden gap there. Many times, all you have to do is hold up or square. A giraffe running with stilts on a mountain would fail less in this game.
Wow, your sense of humor really does suck, doesn't it?
Well, definitely not as much as the person who puts little to no exaggeration in his voice. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Camera keeps zooming in and getting stuck at bad angles. Tails, kick Sonic's ass. Yeah. Yeah. Now that's a sonic boom!
Yeah, you're still not AVGN, so maybe you should stop trying.
I'm sorry, but am I the only person who gets a migraine every time people say, you're not as good as AVGN? I mean, every time someone commentates on another person like Game Dude, they have to bring up the fact that he's not as good as the AVGN over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Oh, for the love of God, make it stop!
So if I had any final contribution, I would say work harder on your script, actually try to be funny, elaborate on your points a bit more. That's really all I can say for him.
You know, I kind of find that a little hypocritical of you saying that, because you did the exact same thing you're criticizing him for, except that you did it 1,000 times worse, which makes you an even bigger hypocrite. You know, maybe I'd be a little too harsh to the guy. I mean, it is his first commentary after all, and who knows, it's not like he's gonna do a commentary on Gligar 13 Vids, and a commentary on Mario the Plumber. Can someone please hold me and tell me that everything is going to be alright?
So, let me get up. Just finished watching Nintendo's Super Smash Brothers Direct. It was interesting, won't lie. Hold on. Let me get my camera. There you go. This shit was interesting. There's something I had on my top of my head. Oh yeah.
Okay, this is by far the laziest introduction I've ever seen in recent memory. Number 1, the video begins with him getting out of bed and the camera being at a horrible angle. Number 2, there are a lot of pauses between his sentences that he could have easily edited out. And if you're wondering, yes, this will be a recurring theme. Number 3, he later notices that the camera is at a horrible angle, and instead of stopping the video to fix it, he fixes it during the video. And finally, he literally forgets about the main point of the video, which is something that should never happen in any video, especially a rant. All of these things are just so awkward to look at, I'm actually surprised he didn't do anything. But then again, that's implying he actually cares about the quality of this video, which you will see later that he truly doesn't.
Why the fuck Bayonetta? Oh my god. She doesn't make sense. She is fucking... I get it. We need more female fighters. And I said... on my side video... One of the videos I made but didn't record. And I think I made like another video... earlier within this channel. I think I'm not sure unless it's privatized. I mentioned that we were ever gonna get my top 5 female third-party characters from Sega.
Wait, so instead of elaborating on as to why Bayonetta doesn't make sense, which I mean was the first thing you brought up, you instead talk about how you would want other female characters to be in Smash. Quick question. Would it have been better to talk about that after you elaborate on as to why Bayonetta doesn't make sense? What I'm trying to say here is that you should really finish your first argument so your audience wouldn't be wondering what you were trying to get across in said argument.
My female characters of choice would have been I, Knights. Even though Knights is genderless like Mewtwo, you could predict, you could say to yourself, oh, I want Knights to be a girl. And fucking fight. I wouldn't have mind. Who else? Amy. Blaze. Lastly, what's this girl's name? Grind from Jet Set Radio. By God, the amount, I was really pushing for Blaze. Blaze the cat to be in this bitch.
You know, the fact that those characters don't really get talked about that often, and one of those characters, said character being Amy, often receives a lot of hate, makes sense as to why Bayonetta was picked over them. Especially with the large amount of positive feedback Bayonetta 2 got.
If we're gonna have a Sega female character, we need Blaze the fucking cat. She has, I know, we need, Sonic, the Sonic franchise is dead, da-da-da-da. Okay, I get it, but why the fuck would you put Bayonetta?
Hi, I'm your audience, and I'm still waiting for an explanation as to why Bayonetta shouldn't be in Smash. Also, says Blaze the cat should be in Smash, gives no explanation as to why she should be in Smash, and says the series she is in is practically dead. Yeah, I honestly can't say I'm surprised at this point.
And that nigga from Fire Emblem?
Using the N-word just for the sake of using it? Who do you think you are, the SFM kind of a Mexican reject? Also, another thing I'd like to point out is that just like Bayonetta, he doesn't elaborate on as to why Corrin shouldn't be in Smash. In fact, this is the only time he brings up Corrin. Now, one could argue that he's solely ranting on Bayonetta due to what he said in the description. And if that's the case, this leaves one huge question. What's the point of talking about Corrin?
This is not Smash. This is now Flying Fucks Given. Super Flying Fucks Given Bros.
Yeah, Brian, I'd like to point out that you basically give me nothing to prove that this point is valid. All you've been doing is constantly saying that Bayonetta shouldn't be in Smash, and not giving any explanations as to why she shouldn't be in Smash. So really, why should I, and practically anyone else for that matter, agree with your viewpoint if you're not even gonna try to make it seem valid?
I can't stand Bayonetta being in there. Okay. PlayStation All-Stars Arena, Turbo Arena, whatever. Their version of Smash Bros. For PS3 and for Vita, if they're making a sequel, I will get why they put Bayonetta there. Because she's edgy. And that franchise, that game, is towards an older audience. Smash Bros. Is more family friendly-ish.
I like to point out that we are over 4 minutes into the original video, and he's finally giving us an explanation as to why Bayonetta shouldn't be in Smash. I'll let that sink in for a little bit. That being said, there are a few things I would like to bring up regarding this argument. 1. Just because Bayonetta is from an M-rated game doesn't automatically mean she shouldn't be in Smash. As long as she doesn't do anything inappropriate, then this really shouldn't be a problem. 2. This isn't the first time this has happened. In fact, Solid Snake, aka a character from an M-rated series, also appeared in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. So really, if you didn't care about it before, why do you care so much about it now? Or at least that's what I assume, because you don't bring up Snake at all. And before anyone brings up the fact that Snake is no longer a part of Smash, here's the thing. Brian should be the one to say that. He was the one who made the rant, therefore he, not random people, should talk about this stuff. And finally, there are some characters in Smash 4 that don't look like usual child-friendly characters. One example of this would be Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. Now, I don't know about you, but this guy doesn't look like your typical child-friendly character to me.
The immediate problem, when you start up the game and you're looking at the game,
is the graphics. The graphics make me want to shit my pants. I looked at the graphics and I did shit my pants, and I had to change my pants. I looked at them and I just shat my pants.
Okay, I know a lot of people are saying this to you, but graphics aren't the most important part of the game, it's the gameplay!
But he never said nor implied that graphics were the most important part of a video game. All he said was that the graphics are bad and nothing else.
And, it was a pretty bad experience, actually. So when you get into the game, the graphics are like, Doom had better fucking graphics, okay? That's not...
Where do you know all this stuff?
Well, my good sir, did it ever occur to you that...
Oh, well, you were probably 13 when you made this video, and you were probably an internet geek like I was at that age. I still am.
Wait, did you just try to refute one of your own points? Well, good for you for admitting that your point has flaws. However, you still lose points for keeping it in instead of cutting it out.
Second thing you'll notice is, makes no fucking sense. So you take a mission, right? Now, let's say you get a shotgun, and in the mission, you have to kill a bunch of people with the shotgun. So you can kill them with a weapon, but you get the shotgun, namely, is my point. So you kill all these people with a shotgun, and you finish the mission, and he won't even say it. He won't even be like, wow, good job on killing those guys with that shotgun. A good job, or, job well done.
What? It's rated M. What do you expect?
He wasn't complaining about the fact you were killing people. He was complaining about the fact that after you kill people, nothing else happens. Unless you meant something else by it being M-rated, in which case, what was it?
Because the game is not context sensitive. The game doesn't know what's going on at all.
Actually, if it doesn't know what it
My dear G-Man, have you ever heard of this thing called re-recording? You should try sometime. It works wonders.
What's going on, then it would be all glitchy. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't played Grand Theft Auto 3.
Because research is so hard. Also, that wasn't what he meant when he said that the game didn't know what's going on. What he actually meant to say was that the game's storyline wasn't context sensitive.
But I will look forward to playing.
No.
And when they stop at a red light, the second you grab onto the car door handle, you get $6. I tried this once, I grabbed onto the door handle, you got $6 from the police, and a big-ass fucking tank came and it ran me over. And I was like, come on, I mean, there's not even any police around. Like, how would they know so soon? It's because the AI is unrealistic, people.
This is a video game. Not everything has to be realistic.
So because a video game isn't always supposed to be 100% realistic, that automatically means they're invalid is not allowed to complain about the AI and making the game difficult to play, even though said complaint is valid. That's a really stupid argument.
I shot someone with a pistol in the knee, and they exploded, folks. I'm not kidding. Guts everywhere, they exploded, and I do not understand. I don't understand. How is that supposed to be fun?
Shooting someone anywhere causing them to explode, huh? Sounds awesome to me!
Okay, there is a lot, and I do mean a lot wrong with this part. Number 1, G-Man makes us wait for a minute and 26 seconds just to say this one-off line. I wouldn't mind so much, except for problem number 2. G-Man could have easily cut it down to 17 seconds. Why would he need to do that? Because the remaining 17 seconds were the only parts that were relevant to what he was saying. And finally, your joke was so forced and unnatural it was practically painful to listen to, and oh, for the love of God, I can't take it anymore! Where is the Kitty Witty video? I want the Kitty Witty video!
Another problem with GTA, it's not first person. Not first person shooter. I don't know what's up with that.
See, remember what I said about him being obsessive over first-person shooter elements? Well, this is what I meant. He thinks that this game would be better if it were a first-person shooter. Dude, Making Grand Theft Auto 3 as a first-person shooter won't make it better. It would destroy the purpose of making it have an open world environment.
How would turning GTA 3 into a first-person shooter ruin the purpose of GTA 3 having an open-world environment? Elaborate! Show examples! Do something! Anything!
They even look better, because, like, you're so high up, you can't even fucking tell what's going on. It even looks better. You know, I'd like to end it at that, folks.
And add it back? I have no idea what it means. Are you saying that you're going to show the predecessors what you call bootlegs?
Oh my god, are you freaking kidding me? No, he never said he was going to show GTA 1 and GTA 2. He said he was done talking about how they were better than GTA 3. You know, another thing I've noticed throughout this entire commentary is how you often take what Very Invalid says out of context. Which is a problem because as a commentator, you're supposed to analyze what your opponent is saying.
GTA 3 sucks. So does GTA 4. I actually played that at a friend's house. It was the same as GTA 3, except the graphics looked so realistic you didn't want to kill anyone. It's like, oh...
I thought you liked realistic graphics. Oh yeah, you didn't mention it to me.
And on to that, he never said that the graphics were bad. All he said was that the graphics were so realistic to the point where he didn't want to kill anybody.